Appreciate you. Oh, you gotta crank that up, DJ. You gotta crank that up. It's a vibe. You gotta crank that up. Give me a little music. Come on, crank that up. Y'all wanna dance, right? Wanna have a good time? All right, give me some music. We're here to celebrate. We're here to celebrate a good cause, right? We're here to have a good time tonight while we're making impact. And before we dive into this church presentation I'm going to give you, said I had 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, we'll take them to church. We can have a little prayer. Robert, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I can tell you, after meeting with Robert and engaging with him, a few conversations we've had, they've been great, impactful conversations. So the work that you've done with Bays, thank you for just being committed to the cause and the purpose. And brother, keep doing what you're doing. Now, of course, that wonderful introduction that he gave, I cannot come back and do better than that. He gave y'all everything. So since you got all the good, I'm going to give you some stories about all the bad. How does a person get to a place like this? Perseverance is what you might say. Commitment is what you might say. Or just truly overcoming obstacles. All the youth in the room, please stand up. All right, well, we got a few of them here. Now, before you guys sit down, did you overcome any obstacles to be here in this position you're in today? Now that deserves a round of applause. So like he stated, you guys can have a seat, thank you. He gave me a wonderful introduction, but by history, I'm 44 years of age in 44 days as we celebrate Bay's 44 years. I'm gonna say it again. In 44 days, I'll be 44 as we celebrate Bay's 44 years. So when we're talking about alignment and things being in its proper course and proper place, I'm here with them 44 days from my 44th birthday, celebrating their 44th year. That's not by coincidence. They mentioned an award that I won last, I want to say October, by Tampa Bay Business and Wealth magazine. It was the Philanthropist of the Year. It was a lifetime achievement. Now, of course, when I got that phone call, I didn't believe it. And then when I got an email, I still didn't believe it. I also sit on the board for GTE Financial. And when Brian Best called me and said, Chris, you're in for the award. I'm like, what do you mean, in for the award? He says, you're getting the lifetime achievement. I still didn't believe it. Because when a person comes from where I come from, you don't get recognized. You're always overlooked. So here's some pain. Yes, I served in the military 10 years. I did 4 combat tours. In the military, I was a combat interrogator. Who knows what that is? Okay, let me give you a better word. Human intelligence. Human. Counter intel. That was my job for 10 years. And I went through a lot of different traumas and pains mentally. But not about what I went through, it's how did I get there? At 19 years old, I was a product of the Department of Juvenile Justice of Chatham County in Savannah, Georgia. I was arrested with 16 kilos of cocaine. I'm going to let you marinate on that for a second. A person who comes from a very bad past. But your future is not determined by where you are, it's where you want to go. We live our lives in phases. In the beginning, in the first part of your life, you're going to learn all that you can, as much as you can. In the second part of your life, we're going to focus on earning all that we can. Make as much money as we can, make as many relationships as we can. But in the latter part of our days, we're going to find ourselves giving all that we can. And here we are tonight in a space where giving celebrates every person in this room. You wouldn't be here if you didn't believe in giving. You wouldn't be here if you didn't consider yourself a philanthropist, a humanitarian, or a community leader. Am I wrong? Give yourselves a round of applause just for being here. It shows commitment. But it also shows that you put yourself ahead of most because you chose to be here instead of somewhere else this evening, to support a cause that matters for somebody else, but not your own personal benefit. And that's one of the core values of being a philanthropist, right? We do for others without self-benefit. So I moved to Florida shortly after my grandfather passed away in 2015. And I wear the B.B. King pen because truly he was my very first music industry mentor. I always had a passion for DJing and music and whatnot. When I left the military, I went to work for him as assistant road manager. And he taught me the industry, right? How to navigate the music industry. From there, I navigated and started a management firm managing artists such as Jackie Christie, Farnsworth Bentley, Jazzy Faye. And that took me on a different path because tour buses are not fun. They look pretty, but I promise you, they're not fun, they're not comfortable at all. And it brought me to Tampa Bay. I moved here in 2013, not knowing a single soul. So you have a young Marine, fresh out the Corps, moving to a city where he has no friends, no associations, no relationships. I have to cultivate who I want to be. How many of you are finding your way? Now, you could honestly admit you're still searching to find your way tonight. Thank you for being truthful. Because listen, we all will find our way one day. But by being in a room like this tonight, you can find your way by just working and collaborating and networking and talking to people that might already be on their way. This room is filled with CEOs, executives, senior leaderships, community leaders, and everything in between. If you can't find what you're looking for in this room, then you're not looking properly. Because I guarantee you they're here. And you made it a point to be here. Your freedom is something that we will always fight for. They've been fighting for freedom since the beginning of time. And look at us, celebrating with a mixed crowd. Don't you just love that? Nobody's looking over the shoulder wondering why they are here, but we're all here. And I would consider you all family tonight. Can we be cousins? So now, keep into consideration. When you go through travels and you have different troublings in your life and passings, does that mean that you have to commit your mind to being in that space forever? It does not. You have to commit to change. You have to commit to collaboration. You have to commit to making a self-contract with yourself that I'm going to do the best that I can every single day. When I wake up, you're going to commit to a standard. When you get dressed, you want to commit to a standard. When you walk, you want to commit to a standard because people are going to judge you based on how you carry yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you slip, that is going to be more damaging than all the good you have ever done because they don't care about the good. So that's why we must publicize all the good because the minute you do one thing bad, one thing, all the good goes out the door, does it not? So I want you to evaluate your own minds, ladies and gentlemen. If you've looked at somebody and you've judged them based on that one bad thing, I want you to cast it out and forget it tonight and hold them accountable for the value that they present by all the good that they've done for humanity, their circle, their people, and their communities, because that's what matters the most. Because that's what shows what their heart is. Is anybody in this room perfect tonight? None of us are. We make mistakes. We make bad decisions. We like to risk it all. Because I'm going to the casino when we leave here. We're going to risk it all. Who joining me when I'm going to the Hard Rock? Who joining me? All right, we're going to slide together. So listen. In taking those risks, you make certain choices that sometimes you can recover from and sometimes you can't. But you know what it takes to recover together? Family. How many of you can look around this room and say, I know I helped somebody in here and they're here tonight? But pat yourself on the back, because if you're a helper, continue being that helper. We have an old saying called my brother's keeper. And I can tell you there are men in this room that have definitely patted me on my back, opened up a door for me, introduced me to somebody, shook a hand with somebody. And you know, it never goes undone without me saying a repetitive thank you over and over again, because you can never thank somebody enough. So, my brother Jorge, thank you. Mike Smith, thank you. These are good men that have definitely been in the room and been in the space where they have shake some hands, said a good word, passed the name, right? We all know we can't get in all the doors alone. You need great people to help you navigate certain spaces. And I would consider some of these men mentors because, like I said, I'm 44. So I'm a baby in the game. And I ain't taking nothing less. Let me tell me I'm old. Now, let's go back and give one more story. So, pain and trauma. I'm a healed person. But while in the military, I was ordered to hurt a lot of people. And I had to deal with these traumas because it was hard for me to re-engage people again because I was trained, keep in mind, trained, to not see people as people. I want you to process that for a second. They train us to be tools. And I was a tool for 10 years. I spent 3.5 years in Camp Lejeune. I left Camp Lejeune and I went to Quantico, Virginia. Y'all know who gets trained in Quantico. It's FBI and the CIA. Then I left there and I went to Korea. And I sat alongside SEALs. And I got trained to interrogate how SEALs interrogate. And then they did the hand-to-hand combat. So, of course, my mind was not programmed to engage kids whatsoever. But I find that kids, youth, teenagers, students, they honestly bring me peace. Process that. How many of y'all, what my parents said? Yep, I got 2 of them. Come on, parents. Now, y'all probably looking at what I just said like, I know you lying. But look at it from this perspective. Kids are impressionable. They're sponges. They don't know their way. They're definitely trying to find it. And it's our job to help guide them. So I'm looking at a room full of people that are here in place to guide our youth in every decision that they're making. Every single one. So you got banks offering financial literacy. You got bays offering every single support that they can get. Even providing tangible resources, products in their hand, right? Growing up in the 90s, we didn't get these things. But my 90s babies there, they grew up in the 90s, high school in the 90s. It's different. Y'all remember we had the phone, they had the phone with the accordion cord, used to go around the house, and all the phones were connected. Yeah, you're on the phone with your girlfriend and your boyfriend, and I'm picking the phone. Get off the phone and go to bed. Y'all used to hate that, didn't you? I know you did. I hated it too. But that was to show you, we grew up in a world where relationships and intentional collaboration was our way out. We had to have relationships with people. Only one person in the neighborhood had one video game console, first off. Everybody didn't have one, no. One boy had the PlayStation and we all went to his house to share it. But what did we have to do? We had to leave our homes. We're in a place now where people don't even want to leave their house. They don't want to come outside. COVID changed our lives, forced us inside. But I like how Bays found a way to keep engaging their youth, regardless of the fact. Because I can tell you, my nonprofit is called the Gentleman's Course. We're on our 11th year this year. And it takes time to be in the nonprofit space for over a decade. I can tell you that. Because most don't survive 3 years. But truly, being able to work with youth, it's life-changing. So that fulfillment piece, when a child looks up at you and he says, thank you, you can't tell me that don't melt your soul. Because you know it's genuine. Because half of them, they don't have anything. Most of our audiences are low income, don't have a lot of resources, broken family homes. And we're providing resources for them because I can tell you I come from one. My mother, was an Army vet. She did combat as well. But my father was the other side of the house. 4-time felon, drug user, physical abuser. All those things you would think a man should not be, he checked every box. And he passed away February 21st. this year. I laid him to rest on March 7th, and I made that drive, but it took, here's the soul searching part, right? When you're talking about humanity, how much do we really care? I had to make that 12-hour drive, and I did it intentionally. I didn't fly. I drove, because this is healing. To close a door and close a chapter for a person that committed traumas in my life. Every aspect of it. My mother made the drive with me, and my son is 14 years old. He bears my father's name. And I made that sacrifice because when my son was born, my grandfather said, "What's that boy name?" I said, "Well, Papa, what you want it to be?" He said, "He the fifth." So if most of you don't know, B.B. King's real name is Riley B. King. So my son is the fifth. And I sacrificed, because who wants a Christopher King Jr.? That don't sound right. But he was my mentor, so I gave him that grace, right? And it was a blessing because I was able to witness him seeing 5 generations of his name born. I'm talking about legacy, right? So as I stand before you today, I'm a product of traumas. I'm a product of pain. I'm a product of brokenness. But I'm also a product of success. I want you guys to truly dig into yourselves this evening. If you've given some, I'm going to ask you to give some more. Something simple. Pick up your phone, scan the QR code. Just give $44 for 44. Make it simple. Nothing big. Most of you pay that for parking at a hotel. You go to the Hard Rock tonight, what are they going to charge you at valet? $40. $40 for valet. So I'm asking you to give the valet while you're sitting at your tables right now. Give the 44 right now for 44. It's not a big ask, it's a very small ask. But it helps create resources and tangible opportunities for kids that need it. Because think about it. All my parents in the room, wouldn't you like a little help with your kids? Organizations like this provide support for kids, regardless of their socioeconomic background. We have to find it in our heart to put ourselves aside from the pains we thought we had experienced and find a place of peace in people that need us to provide them with peace. So yes, when I say I find fulfillment in mentoring and working with kids, and I've been doing this literally, I'm not just a CEO who sits back and gives orders. I'm in the classroom myself. I build the relationships with those students myself personally. Every volunteer in my organization, I've trained them myself. I make sure they understand that we are working together. And I like that about Robert, because he does the same thing. He don't mind getting his hands dirty. How many of y'all get your hands dirty? You work in the trenches with your team and your people. It matters. It shows great leadership, one. It shows great success because they're going to be loyal to you because they know they're not taking on the burden by themselves. So, he gave me a time limit. I'm probably almost over, but I don't even care. We're going to church. The importance of programming and overcoming challenges. The community that we serve is not just Tampa Bay. We're the central hub. It's Florida in its entirety, is it not? Most of you are affiliated with organizations that can stretch multiple counties. So let's provide the support and resources to multiple counties. Let's get our hands out. Let's support and do as much as we can. So you got a task tonight. 44 for 44. Who's gonna commit? Raise your hands if you're doing it. 44 for 44. Come on. All right. I need some more hands. That ain't enough. I need some more hands. Come on. 44 for 44. Just do it tonight. 44. And that goes a long way. I promise you. Because guess what? Them 5 hands, that's a couple $100. We hit our goal here, bro? We hit the goal here? We ain't sure. We gotta check the number. What the goal at? We got about $10,000 we gotta raise. A lot of 44s we gotta get. So listen. I want to thank you guys just for the opportunity, because trust me, being in a space where I can empower, I can uplift, I can tell my story, just a little bit of it. Because I only gave you 10 minutes. Just imagine those little bit of stories were spanned over 44 years. of life. That didn't happen in one night. They're repetitive night after night after night, day after day after day. One of my good friends asked me why I never got a pet. And I said, well, because every pet I had was killed by my dad. My first pet was a rabbit. Then it was my dog Amos. Then I had a turtle. David. I'll never forget David. David was cute. But I was a kid, so I loved everything, right? This is why kids are fulfilling, because truly, kids really, they make friends in 5 minutes. Now they look, 30 seconds. This is my new friend. Where you met him at, Miss Queen? Process that for a second. But let us meet somebody. We got a vet. We're going to quarantine them first. And make sure they touch, they ain't got COVID. It's crazy, right? We go through all these steps. I think we're overthinking the process when we're building relationships and we're growing. So let's simplify it. Let it be organic. Let it be authentic. And in closing, I truly want to thank you guys just for the opportunity to be in a space of vulnerability, because it takes a lot to tell people your pains. Truly. But I want you to connect and understand that people who give most likely at some point didn't have. So yeah, my grandfather was very famous, very wealthy man, but I got $0 from him. None. I worked for everything that I have, and I've built it. Told you, I moved to Tampa knowing 0 people. So are you a hustler? Are you committed to the street work of patting them feet and turning them corners and shaking them hands? Where my entrepreneurs at? If you're an entrepreneur, raise your hand. 2 or 3? Oh, I love y'all. Everybody else, corporate thugs. Love it. Love it. Hey, man, it takes heartache and pain to get up every day and go to work 9 o'clock, be there on time, deal with Tampa traffic. I love you for it. I ain't doing it. Nope, I'm not doing it. Listen, I thank all of you for your time, for your laughter, your banter. I hope to meet you tonight, shake your hand, share a story. Tell me what you're doing and what you're going through. If you have not found your way, I will try my best to help you find your way. I'm a man of many resources, many relationships. And all I want to do is create more impact here and afar. So let's keep doing that together as a team and as a family. So cousins, I bid you adieu. Thank you. And I love you all.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.